Our CBC News team on the ground both in Russia and in Ukraine. There's Margaret Evans, who leads our team there in Kyiv. And if you were watching our special broadcast earlier, Margaret told to take shelter in the basement parking lot of the building where she is staying, the hotel where she's staying in Kyiv. Obviously, the threat has passed, and we're thankful for that, Margaret. What is the latest?
Well, as you've been saying, Heather, the officials here in Ukraine say that they are facing a full-scale invasion, attacks on multiple dimensions. We've heard from the President Volodymyr Zelensky earlier this morning. Forgive me, I'm a bit tired. A little bit earlier this morning, talking to the nation, urging people to remain calm. It's kind of a delicate balancing act for him, though. He's having to create that sense of calm, telling people to stay inside if they can, not to panic. At the same time, we're starting to hear numbers of casualties in this battle. I mean, unconfirmed, of course, but as you're mentioning, there's a very hot fight going on, it seems, on the border east with Kyiv, here on the Ukrainian side, and incoming fire from the Russian side. We are hearing talk that potentially the president is thinking about full mobilization. Yesterday, reservists were called up. The parliament introduced a law making it legal for ordinary citizens to carry guns. And as you say, he today earlier invited people who wanted to fight. He said, we'll give you weapons if you want to fight on the streets and in the squares. So that's fairly dramatic. And every now and again, you hear a bang. Here, we've heard in the center of the town, there have been air raid sirens earlier. So people are, I think, pretty rattled.
And as you speak to them, Margaret, I mean, we have been talking this week in the lead up to the assaults beginning, and you've been talking about how people are prepared, how are trying to stay calm, but are indeed readying for the worst. Now that the worst has happened, what are people now saying?
Well, our producer, Jason Ho, was out earlier today, and he met a couple who were frantically trying to get money out of the bank machine, and they told him that they had actually not been prepared. They were regretting it. They hadn't packed a bag. They hadn't made a plan to get out of town. There are people who did do that and who did actually leave town. So it's a bit of a mix. But I think that here in the capital in particular, a lot of people didn't think that that Kyiv would come under attack, and it's been a bit of a shock. Some people have been going underground, deep into the metros. They have very deep tunnels down into the metro stations here, just to sit because they feel safer down there. Met a family with their cat. They had been supposed to go on vacation in a week's time, just sitting there saying they didn't really have a plan. I also met a young 26-year-old graphic artist, a cartoonist, who was also sitting down on a bench with other people holding children, you know, a mother in a red coat trying to amuse her child. But have a listen to what this young woman, her name was Helen, had to say to us when we talked to her down in the subway. Where are you going? I mean, what are you doing down here? Just feeling safer, or are you on your way somewhere?
Yes, I just feel safe here, and just I don't want to leave Kyiv. I want to believe in our military guys and just stay calm and.
Well, how hard is that?
Very hard, and it's in kind of waves. Sometimes you're very stressed, sometimes you're kind of very angry, and just want to be sure that all of your friends and family are okay.
How long do you think you're going to stay down here?
I don't know, maybe a half of day, maybe 2 days.
I'm not sure if you were actually able to see in that video, Heather. She showed us what was inside her bag, a can of chicken. She had her work tools. She had a computer behind her. a sweater to keep her warm, but no real plan, and quite extraordinary that she just didn't know how long she was going to stay down there. People are trying to make plans. People are still trying to exit the city, huge traffic jams. We have people coming to stay at the hotel we're in. Some people are leaving, so there's a real sense of traffic. But again, these human stories about people caught in this, even though there were these warnings for days and weeks coming, in particular from the Americans, a lot of people feel that they didn't believe that this could happen, and there's a sense of real shock when you talk to some people.
Margaret, that was quite an extraordinary conversation. Thank you for that and for all of the reporting. I appreciate it. Margaret Evans leading our CBC News team, and thank you to Jason Ho, your producer there in Kyiv as well.